Your phone rings and your stomach drops, like you just got called to the front of the class. You stare at the screen, willing it to stop, because answering feels like stepping onto a stage with no script. Maybe it is a friend. Maybe it is work. Maybe it is someone you love. And somehow that makes it worse. You let it ring out, then immediately think, I will call back in a minute. A minute becomes 10, then an hour, and now it feels awkward to exist. You send the classic text, sorry I missed your call, what is up? And you already know what they will say. Can I just call you? Your brain says yes, but your body says absolutely not. You start bargaining. Maybe if I move to a quieter room, maybe if I drink water, maybe if I practice how I will sound. Meanwhile, the other person thinks, wow, they hate me. If you hate phone calls, it can look like you are cold, flaky, or rude. But most of the time, it is not about them at all. It is about what a phone call represents to your brain. Because for some people, a call is not a simple hello. It is an ambush. Texting feels like a door you can open slowly. A call feels like someone kicks it in. And the weird part is, you might be totally fine talking in person. You can laugh, read the room, breathe, and leave when it ends. On a phone call, you lose a lot of control at once. You cannot see their face, you cannot predict the pacing, and you cannot soften the awkward silences with a smile. Your brain starts filling in gaps, and it usually fills them with worst-case stories. Did I sound bored? Did they think I was short? Did I miss a joke? Did I say something weird? That is not drama. It is your nervous system trying to do math without enough numbers. A phone call gives you fewer cues, so your brain works harder to feel safe. And when your brain works harder, it burns more energy, which feels like stress, which makes you want to avoid it. This is why some people can text all day, but a 5-minute call feels exhausting, because a call is live. You cannot edit your tone. You cannot pause to think without it feeling like you are pulling away. Text is a draft, a call is a performance. If you grew up learning that you had to sound polite, calm, or agreeable to stay out of trouble, you may have learned that speaking equals pressure. So when the phone rings, your body remembers that pressure before your mind even catches up. Not because you're broken, but because your brain learned to protect you by being careful. Now imagine this. Your friend texts, quick call. Your brain does not hear quick, it hears unlimited. Because phone calls have blurry endings, a text conversation can fade naturally, but a call needs an exit line, and exit lines can feel like tiny rejections. Even when they are normal, so you stay on longer than you want, or you avoid starting at all. This is one of the main hidden reasons people hate calls: time uncertainty. Your brain wants a clear beginning and a clear end. Without that, it treats the call like a trap door. And if you are already tired, already overloaded, already trying to hold yourself together, your brain says, not now. There is also something simple that people underestimate: task switching cost. Your brain hates switching gears quickly. If you are focused on work, relaxing, or emotionally decompressing, a call yanks you into social mode instantly. Some brains do that switch easily, others pay a higher cost. So even before you answer, you feel drained because your brain is paying the switching fee up front. Now add one more ingredient: the fear of being perceived. A phone call is basically real-time judgment with no rewind button. If you have any history of overthinking, people-pleasing, or trying to sound just right, calls feel like walking a tightrope. You are not just talking, you are managing how you come across, you monitor your voice, your speed, your laugh, your pauses, and the whole time your brain is running a background program that whispers, do not mess this up. That background program can make a simple call feel like a job interview. This is why some people prefer voice notes. A voice note lets you choose the moment, choose the tone, and re-record if you hate how you sounded. It has the warmth of a voice without the pressure of live reaction. Phone calls remove that safety net. And if you are thinking, but I should be able to do this, that is the guilt talking. Guilt is sneaky because it does not make you answer faster, it makes the call heavier. You miss one call, then two, then suddenly calling back feels like climbing a wall you built yourself. So you wait longer, then you feel worse, then you wait even longer. People on the outside read that as distance, but on the inside, it is often a loop of pressure and avoidance. Here is another angle most people do not see: emotional intensity. A call can feel intimate. Someone's voice carries mood, disappointment, urgency, and expectation all at once. If you are highly sensitive to other people's emotions, you may feel their energy through the phone, like it is in your chest. So you do not avoid the person, you avoid the emotional wave you might have to hold. This is why you might answer casual calls easily, but avoid calls that feel serious, work calls, authority figures, family conversations, relationship check ins. Your nervous system learns which calls carry emotional weight, and it tries to keep you safe by delaying them. Now let us return to that friend who texted, "Quick call, you type sure in a minute." But your brain is already scanning for the worst case. What if they are upset? What if I have to explain myself? What if I cannot end it gracefully? This is not laziness, it is anticipation. Your brain is trying to pre-solve a conversation that has not happened yet. And that is the core of why calls can feel unbearable. They are unpredictable social puzzles in real time. Texting reduces unpredictability because you get time to think. A phone call demands thinking and feeling at the same time. Now add modern life to the mix. We are constantly reachable, which means a call can feel like someone stepping over your boundary without asking, even if they did not mean it that way. If you grew up in a house where privacy was thin, where you had to respond instantly, where ignoring someone meant trouble, your brain may treat calls as an emergency alarm, so you protect yourself by controlling access. Text first, delay first, decide later. That is not immaturity, it is a boundary strategy your brain learned quietly. The problem is, other people do not see the strategy. They only see silence, and silence is a blank screen that people project onto. They assume you are annoyed, uninterested, or playing games. Meanwhile, you are sitting there thinking, I care too much to answer wrong. That mismatch creates friction. One person feels ignored, the other feels pressured, and both are telling the truth from their side. So, what do you do if you hate phone calls and you are tired of feeling guilty about it? First, name what is happening in simple language. Not a confession, not a dramatic explanation, just a sentence that makes the pattern visible. Something like, calls overwhelm me sometimes. Can we text or schedule a quick time? Notice the magic there. You are not rejecting them. You are choosing a format your brain can handle. Second, reduce the uncertainty. Instead of saying, call me whenever, offer a container, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, after lunch at 7 p.m., a defined window tells your nervous system. This has edges. Third, give yourself an exit line in advance. People freeze on calls because they do not know how to leave without sounding cold. So you borrow a simple line, I want to keep talking, but I need to hop off now. Can we continue later? When you have an exit, the call stops feeling like a trap. Fourth, start with a gentler bridge if live calls spike your anxiety, voice notes, short calls with a clear purpose, or calls where you both agree on the topic first. Your brain learns safety through experience, not through being yelled at internally. And finally, be honest about capacity. Sometimes you are not busy with time, you are busy with emotional bandwidth. It is healthier to say I can reply later when I am present than to force a shaky call that makes you resentful. Now, if you are the person on the other side, the one waiting for a callback, here is what helps more than you think. Ask before calling. A simple, is now a good time to call, or should we text? Which is what anxious brains are craving. If you need a call, give it a frame. Quick question about tomorrow. 5 minutes. Clarity makes connection easier. Because a lot of phone call avoidance is not about closeness, it is about overwhelm. When you stop taking it personally, the whole dynamic softens. And if you are the call hater listening to this, I want you to hear something clearly. Disliking phone calls does not make you disrespectful. It makes you someone with a nervous system that prefers predictability. Your brain is not refusing connection, it is negotiating the terms of it. The goal is not to become instantly available. The goal is to become clearer, kinder to yourself, and less trapped by guilt. Because the more you shame yourself for not answering, the heavier answering becomes. But when you treat it like a pattern, you can work with it. You can choose texts, schedule calls, or build tolerance slowly without forcing yourself to perform. You do not need to turn into a different person to be a good friend or partner. You just need a communication style that does not punish your nervous system. So next time the phone rings, notice the reflex, notice the story your brain writes, and try one small shift, define the call, or choose an alternative without apologizing for existing. If this felt uncomfortably familiar, tell me in the comments what part of phone calls hits you hardest. And if you want more people patterns like this, you know where to find us.